Hi guys, and welcome back to Midday Matcha with Livy. Clearly, I am fucking Livy. If you guys are watching the YouTube version of this and you're like, Livy, why the fuck do you look like that? Listen, bitches, it's Saturday night, number one. I just got a spray tan. I leave at 4:45 in the morning to go to Tulum. So, you're like, your life is so hard. But no, like, whatever. Anyways, my pimples are out. I don't think I've ever looked worse on camera, and guess what? I don't give a fuck, okay? Because my main focus was getting an episode out for you guys. I wasn't even gonna put any like concealer on or anything like that because I truly don't care. I just want to get the episode out, and thank God I had the brilliant idea when I rebranded this podcast to do the video version. I'm so grateful. I'm so happy to have done that. Anyways, I like literally don't even want to send a clip this week to my editor to edit to like punch in on my face because I'm gonna be like, what the fuck, Livy? What the fuck? Anyways, I am in Tulum. Well, I'm leaving for Tulum Sunday. You guys are going to be updated on my TikTok and my Instagram, but when this goes up, I will have just came home from Tulum, and I'll probably be like exhausted and wanting to, I don't want to say like die, but like maybe a little. I'll probably be like extremely wildly hungover. I'm going with Nicole, you guys. If you know, you know. The queen herself. I'm so excited. She's already out there. I'm meeting her out there. We've literally never met in our lives. But I feel like I've known her for years. Okay. Like we followed each other on everything. She's someone that like, she's the first influencer I will say that I was like in communications with when I started blowing up on TikTok. Like she was right there. She's like the sweetest girl ever. So I've known her for so long. I literally feel like we've met like a million fucking times. We've never met, but we text a lot and we DM a lot. So I'm excited. We'll be in Tulum together. Like how wild. Us in Tulum together is going to be like absolutely insane. Like I don't even know. I don't know what it's going to be like. We'll come back and I'll update you. Anyways, for this week's episode, I asked you guys on my Instagram story, I was like, ask me. Also, side note, I did take a CBD gummy. So if I look a little bit dumb in the YouTube video and I just don't have all the energy in the world, I told you guys these fucking CBD gummies are like nature's Xanax. That's what it feels like. So if you're like, why do you have literally no energy whatsoever? It's a CBD, bitch. It's a CBD. Anyways, so let's get into this week's episode. I asked you guys questions on my Instagram and we're going to get into that. Like, it's a cute little questions episode, but I don't even remember any of these and I'm just answering them like right off the bat, like whatever comes to my mind. Story time I didn't tell on TikTok because I thought I would get banned. The time I sucked dick for an Uber Black. I actually think I'm going to tell that story in a full YouTube video. And I didn't actually suck dick for an Uber Black. I sucked dick for my best friend. Okay, they're both sounding really bad, but I was like, I want to do long story times on YouTube, so I think I'm going to put that up within like the next week or so. The story time of, yeah, I did suck dick for an Uber Black. Not really, though. It's like, you know what? You'll have to stay tuned for the story. Because if I'm out here sucking dick for an Uber Black, that's embarrassing. They're not that expensive. Like, if I'm not affording my own Uber Black, that's a problem. Anyways, whatever. But it was a year ago when I first moved to New York. But I think the title, I suck dick for an Uber Black, is just like so funny to me, but I don't think it'll do well on TikTok because like I think I'll get banned immediately. Like TikTok will be like, Livy, no. YouTube will probably also be like, Livy, no. But I don't know. I think it'll be funny just like post on YouTube. But I do want to post like long form story times on YouTube coming up because why not? You know, why not diversify my platforms? Is that what that means? I don't think that meant like anything, correct? Second question. Why did I start posting on TikTok? Okay, let's go way back. It was 2021. I decided to quit my job. I was a nanny at the time and drop out of college and fully focus on my podcast. I had started, this is 3 years ago. Wait, because my podcast hits my 3-year anniversary next month. So 3 years ago, I decided to do this. I was like, I want to fully like focus on the podcast. Like I love the podcast more than anything. And I also want to focus on social media and stuff like that. So what I did was quit everything. I don't recommend that, but I never wanted to be in college. I had so much in my savings, not like so much, but I had enough in my savings to get me through a couple months of not working. I wanted to fully focus on the podcast and TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, right? So that's why I started posting TikToks, because I was like, God damn. But I did a bunch of research on the TikTok algorithm, analytics, stuff like that. And then that's how I started, was 3 years ago. But it's like always sounds like someone's fucking knocking. Anyways. Also, the reason I'm not in studio is because like I'm literally filming this the night before I leave. I don't have time. Okay, whatever. So that's why I'm not in studio. That's so random. Anyways. Next question. So that's why I started posting, because I wanted more just to like grow my online presence after starting the podcast. And I started the podcast because we were in a fucking panorama and I was depressed and I couldn't be on stage anymore and do my comedy on stage. So that's how this all started. And now we're here. Anyways, okay. Do I think I will leave New York? Yeah. I'm not one of those bitches that's like, New York till I die. Like, I have a lot of people in my life that live here that are like, New York till the day I die. And I'm like, no. Tim and I both know we're going to have an LA phase of our life for probably like a really long time. I see my LA phase though when I'm a little bit older and I'm like extremely wealthy, because let me be honest, like if I'm going to move to LA, I want to move to a house. So yeah, I see it later in life, and I'll probably be working on a TV show. That's like one of the big goals and dreams that I want to do. So yeah, I see that for like a way later in life, not like way later, honestly, like 3 years, 3 to 4 years, 2 to 3 years. I don't know. But like, I think I'll always have like a place in New York because I love it here so much, but I'm not like New York till I die. No, never been me really. But there's so many people that are like New York forever. And it's like, babes, why? But like, I get it at the same time. It's an amazing city. Any relationship that lasted too long. Every single relationship I've been in. I'm the type of bitch that like, I always say this to my friends when they're going through breakups. I'm like, if that person's not meant for you, like the universe, God, whoever, will do whatever the fuck it takes for that person to not be in your life anymore. They will make them hurt you so badly so that person's not in your life. So going back, I'm one of the girlies where I just let myself get so beyond hurt. And it's like, babe, you could have left 6 months ago. Like, what are we doing? But I do love a breakup. We all know this. I love a breakup because I glow the fuck up. So I'm not that like upset that they lasted too long. But like every single relationship I've been in could have ended 6 months prior. And that's that. How to get over losing a friend. Immediately, I thought this meant death. I don't think that means death. But I think losing a friendship breakups are terrible. They're super hard. I've already made an entire podcast episode about this. Get over losing one and them not being in your life. I think you just have to remember why they're not in your life anymore, and that you don't want someone in your life that's like going to be toxic or negative or not good in any sort of way. So that's how I got over friendships that I was no longer in. It's really difficult. Like, it's not easy. It's a full-on breakup, but that's how I got over those. How to give the funeral in your head. Okay, I mentioned that when I break up with a man, I have a funeral in my head for him. So this is how the funeral in my head goes. Okay, it's not funny. Okay. Not like even just like a funeral. I also do like a big cord cutting meditation, but that's a different thing. But I just like picture me at his funeral. I will literally give the speech out loud to him, like, rest in peace, you're a real one. But I'm just like, thank you so much for all that you did, all that you continue to do for me. But like, I'm cutting you the fuck off and you're dead to me. And I just act the same way I act with, because I love my friends who have actually passed, and like people that, okay, this is like so deep and dark for like no fucking reason. But what I mean by that is I was like gonna say, in the funeral in my head, I then act like there's someone that's been dead to me. I'm literally brain dead because of CBD anyways. But I act like that's someone who's actually like passed in my life. I don't do that. Because the people who have actually passed in my life, I'm like, I love you so much. I miss you so fucking much. Not my exes though. No, they just get a funeral in my head and they're like dead to me. And that's that. Go to the TikTok if you're like, what is she talking about? How to deal with anxiety. CBD. No. Xanax. No. Meditation. I really like lavender essential oil, and just like honestly like pushing through. Oh, I know you bitches hate when I say pushing through, but like going through it. Like, instead of making your anxiety not let you do things, for example, like I have flight anxiety. The last thing I want to do is get on a fucking 4-hour flight to Tulum tomorrow. But you know what I'm going to do? Get on a 4-hour flight to Tulum tomorrow and like push through the anxiety and like deal with the anxiety and the painful moments of the anxiety, because the more that I run away from it, the more anxious I'm going to get. And then it's like, bitch, are you just never going to get on a plane again? No, like you kind of have to just fight through the anxiety. And also it feels so good after you accomplish something that you're like, oh my God, I was so anxious about this. Cause then you're like, bitch, anxiety, who? Like you were in my head for what, you dumb cunt? Anyway, so yeah, that's how I like to push through the anxiety. How to deal with an ex that's making fun of you. Girl, an ex that's making fun of you, why are we talking to our exes? That's the bigger question. Why the fuck are we talking to our exes? And why would you let an ex make fun of you? They're an ex for a reason. I don't love unpopular opinion. I don't like we're exes. Like we're going to be friends. Fuck you. Absolutely not. Like, to my future boyfriend, if you're like friends with your exes and you're like texting all the time, no, you're not. Like, no, you're not. Like, no, you're not. Like, I'm just not going to deal with that. I don't like that. I don't care if you're like, you're fucking crazy. We knew that. We knew that I'm insane. I don't care. Anyways, this is really, but why the fuck would you ever let your ex make fun of you? Like, be fucking for real. Ex for a reason, babe. I could have at least put a little concealer under my eyes, but I didn't. Anyways, whatever. Am I in a serious relationship or do I want one? You guys think I would have a full-on boyfriend and you wouldn't know? I can't share any, like, every part of my life is so fucking public. You think I would be like, let me hide him? Actually, low-key, yeah, I would. But I would still post him on, like, my Instagram of, like, his hand. You know, like, I would do, like, those kind of things. No, because I would do story times about him, too. I'd be like, story time, my boyfriend literally pissed me the fuck off. No, I'm not in a relationship. You guys would probably know if I was in one. And do I want one? Here's the thing. I'm not dying to be in a relationship. I really love my life. I worked hard for this life. If you're going to come into my life, I'm not entertaining half-ass energy. I'm not entertaining half-ass men either. Like, I have a certain standard for myself. I have very high standards. I'm only getting in a relationship if that person meets my standards and if that person can actually add value into my life and doesn't take away. Also, is not a little bitch about my job. Those are like, and like the story times I make on TikTok. I'm going to have respect for my relationship and not be like, story time of like how my boyfriend pissed me off last night, but maybe in 6 months I might. But of like the relationship where it's not like a topic or whatever. I'm never going to go online and be like, I fucking hate my boyfriend when he like pisses me off. You know what I mean? Or talk about, no, I might do that. I was going to say like talk about his dick size. I'm going to respect the relationship I'm in. So with that being said, they have to respect what I do. I think the biggest thing I struggle with dating is like men hating, not even hating my job, but like my job is the biggest factor in any relationship or a situationship or talking that I've dealt with currently. If one, they're either like using me and they like want the TikTok clout, babe, there is no TikTok clout. I'm the TikTok, like there is no TikTok clout, babe. Like you're not going to get anything from me. Like you're really not, loves, you're not. Two, how much I make, that's been an issue. And then, which it should never be an issue. What I bring in is none of your fucking business. Number three, just insecurity. Like men get insecure as fuck. And, you know, it does take a special kind of man to hear their girlfriend on the internet talk about another man's penis. But, like, that is what it is. And I'm not always out here just talking about dick, but whatever. This is, like, the most rambly episode in the entire world. Whatever. I'm titling this episode the episode that should not have been released. Anyways, and that's that. Was I ever a stripper? No. But if I didn't heal the daddy issues, I could have seen myself going down a dark path. Not saying stripping is a dark path because those strippers, they work fucking hard. And that is a, like, draining thing to do on the body. Like, all the praise in the world to you guys because, like, I couldn't do it. You want to know the main reason I couldn't be a stripper? The idea of men touching me. Like, a man would touch me and I'd be like, what the fuck? And then they'd be like, no, Livy, like, what? Like, you're not allowed to do that on the job. And I'd be like, he fucking touched me. And they're like, that's the point of the job. And then, like, if I literally had to give a lap dance, I'd be like, ew, like, I cannot be bothered. Like, I hate these men. So I have all the respect in the world for strippers and, like, all the praise to them, too, because they do something I could not. And that is entertain men. I don't, But they make so much fucking money. Anyways, How did Tim and I meet? Tim and I met at a brothel. No, honestly, I just heard a lot of people say brothel this past weekend, so that's why I said brothel. Anyways, Tim and I met in high school. We weren't that good of friends. I honestly kind of like, I don't think we liked each other in high school, but randomly when he went away to college is when we got like super close. Not like super close. When he moved to New York is when we got super close, but when Tim went to college, he went to school in Miami. And I went to Miami a couple times for work when I was a nanny, and I was like able to go see him. And then when he came in town for the holidays, we'd always see each other. And like, I don't know, Tim and I always just randomly made a time to see each other. So then when he moved to New York, we became inseparable. Tim and I are somehow the same fucking person. And I think that's why he annoys me a lot, is because I'm like looking at myself and I'm like, are you kidding? But I do think Tim is a little bit sassier and a little bit more disrespectful than I. No, I'm kidding. He is more dramatic than me, and he's always like, that's not a thing. Fuck you, Tim. It is. Anyways. Just kidding. I love Tim, and he knows he's my world. Wait, thumbnail. Okay. Anyways, sending that to Sarah. Sarah. Okay, that's my graphic designer who does the thumbnails. Anyways, let's get back on into this. Biggest thing I've learned. I would say, why did I say like that? I would say to not give a fuck about what anybody else thinks and like do whatever you want to do, and that you don't have to follow a traditional route. Like, I never wanted to go to college. I never wanted to do those things. And it was hard and difficult explaining that to people in my life. And then seeing everybody like live up that college experience and like be so happy. But like now I get to live my dream and like do what I want to do. And I had to sacrifice a lot. But I'm not complaining to fuck. Okay. Advice on the no contact rule. Don't contact them. I have been telling my best friend this. It's like, give it 3 days. When you're like, I want to text him so badly, give it 3 days. If you still want to text him in 3 days, we can reevaluate. But give it 3 days. I love that. Anyways. Do I want kids? Not really. What essential crystals and how do I use them? If you guys know, I'm a crystal-ass bitch. I love a good crystal. I have one that helps me with travel anxiety. It's a little green one. I honestly like will not remember the name, but if you DM me on Instagram and you're like, bitch, what are the crystals? And like, we need the names, then I'll post them. But I do like amethyst. I like, what is the fucker called? I like rose quartz. Obviously, that's for like all kinds of love. What is that one fucker called? Pyrite or something? I like her. And why do I use them? I use them for like different things, like manifesting future success, anxiety, stress, those things, good energy, protecting my energy. That's why I use them. Okay, biggest red flag I ignored. My ex being married. He was like, I'm married for a green card. And I was like, okay, Livy, still, like, come on, get out. Shouldn't have done that. Why did I start story times? That same ex. Actually, that's so funny because I started story times. Nobody asked me why I was going through a breakup, and I had like 70K at the time, and I was posting about my breakup, and I was like sad or whatever. Nobody fucking asked me for a story time, right? But if you listen to the video, you hear me say, so this is the story time everyone wanted to hear. Livy who? No, but I don't think a soul asked me, but I think it's just like, all right, let's spill the tea as to why I've been a depressed ass bitch. And then I told the story of how I found him cheating, and it blew up. And I was like, oh, that wasn't normal. Like, babes, you weren't supposed to deal with that. And then I started doing other story times, and everyone was like, babe, these things that are happening to you are not normal. And so then it just like, that's how the story time spiraled. And then we somehow got into content about my mother, content about relationships, just content about literally everything. So that is how the story time started, was because of my loser fucking ex-boyfriend. Love you, babe, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be a boss-ass bitch now. And like going through the breakup, I was like, what the fuck was the reason of this horrific, brutal breakup? It literally was like the most heart-wrenching thing ever. I was like, what was the purpose of this? Like, what the fuck was the purpose? The purpose was like for like having you guys and like growing on TikTok and making this a career. So thank you, babe. Thank you so much. You're blocked on everything, but thank you. Anyways, how do I never run out of stories? You know what? When I had to deal with like the management meetings after I started getting big on TikTok, that was the number one question everyone asked me. except for like my management now. And that's probably why I'm with them. But I would always say, I can make anything I want a fucking story time. I literally can make the spray tan I just got a story time. Did anything interesting happen? No. But in my perspective, in my little brain, actually a couple of things did happen. And I do want to talk. No, we're not going to talk about it. But whatever. I could make literally anything into like a little story time. I don't know. That's just kind of me. And I have a lot of stories. Like, I've lived a life. I'm 23 years old, but bitch, I feel like I'm 30 fucking 5. Like, the things that have happened to me, I don't even think we've scratched the surface yet. So, whatever. Am I dating at the moment? Like barely. Like, not really. Guys, okay. Am I dating at the moment? Like, and I'm a hard bitch to get on a date because I don't like my time being wasted. So I'm like a difficult bitch to actually get to go on the date. Will I text you for like 6 months? Yeah, absolutely. I love texting. I love a little texting relationship. But to get my ass on the date, very difficult. Good luck. Good luck, babe. Good luck. I'll reschedule a bunch. Because here's the thing. I don't want my time wasted. And you're like, let's grab food. I'm not the bitch to grab food with. Unless you're like, listen, this is the reservation. Or be here. I don't know. I don't really like going on dates very much. And I also have never felt like I needed a man in my life. Or like low-key even wanted one in my life. Or a relationship. I feel very complete with myself and my job. So if I am gonna date, like, bring in a good motherfucker. Like, bring in a good one. Because I am not just gonna, like, take time out of my day to go sit and eat sushi with a loser. If I'm being honest. So I'm a hard one to actually get to go on the date. But am I dating? In my opinion, no. In the men I'm talking to opinion, probably. But not really. Anyways, ways to deal with trauma. Therapy. I love therapy. If you can't afford therapy, I love like journaling out your feelings because you get out so much shit you didn't know you were holding in there. Like you're like the fuck. Like you were. I like those. What else? Just like feeling your feelings is the best way to deal with trauma. And also to place absolutely no blame on yourself. There's like, you are not the reason for your trauma. And I think that's like a really good reminder. And just know that this feeling's not going to last forever. Like with every single traumatic experience I've been through, I'm like, I'm never going to get over this. Babe, you do. You do. You do. It's the number one thing I wish I could have told myself when I was going through a hard time was like, I'm never going to get over this. It's like, babe, you're going to get over it and you're going to be better and you're going to be great and you're going to be a healed version of yourself and you're not going to, it's not going to weigh on your mind as heavy as it is right now. Yeah. The next question was like most traumatic thing you've ever been through. A lot. Death. Losing people is very difficult. I've been raped. I've been assaulted a lot. I had a really bad eating disorder. And then my freshman year of high school, I did try and like off myself a couple times. So like those were all really difficult things to deal with. And then probably like living with my father, like when I was younger, was really hard. So there's a lot, honestly, there's a lot. Hardest part about living in New York City. You guys, it's expensive. So I don't know why that took me so long I'm trying to think. It's expensive. It's a fast-paced world. Everyone always says like you sink or swim in New York. And that is really true. And luckily I've been swimming, you know. Ew, what was that visual? I've been swimming, but I've been swimming, and at first I felt like I was sinking. The first 6 months I was like, hey, this is so hard, and I was like, do I go back to Chicago? And I was like, absolutely fucking not, like, because I just couldn't go back to Chicago, because I hate it there. Sorry, love Chicago, love it. Anyways, no, I don't. That's the thing is, why can't I openly be like, I fucking hate Chicago? Why can't I? Because every time I say it, I get a really rude call from my mother. And it's not that I hate Chicago, just so much has happened to me there, and I've grown so much. Yeah, I'm putting my rings on. Fuck off. I've grown so much. And to me, that city, every time I think about it, was like a very traumatic city. A lot of trauma happened there. So, like, I grew up and in general, it was just traumatizing. But yeah. I don't know. A lot of shit happened there. And my therapist is always like, you can always say that. And I'm like, I don't feel great saying it because, like, I also love the city. But, like, you'll never see me living there ever again in my life. Absolutely not. There's a million things. I'd rather live in Texas. And there's no reason for me to be in fucking Texas. Okay. So, hardest part about living in New York is like you have to sink or swim. And you'll like, I feel like anyone who lives in New York, like you get it. Like you get what I'm saying. The money, everything is just wildly expensive. I think I'm so delusional with prices now. Like the price to everything is just like, I'm like, yeah. What? Yeah. You know, when it's like, the rest of the world does not pay like $30 for fucking strawberries. I'm not paying $30 for strawberries, but I am paying $7. So, and I also don't know why I am paying $7. Anyways. We're going to do 2 more questions. A lot of you asked about my virginity and like how I lost my virginity. To my old ass fucking boyfriend that I should have probably never been with and like low key traumatized. And I thought I was going to save it till marriage and I didn't. So it was like low key a guilty thing that I felt. And it just like wasn't, there was honestly not, and I know you guys are asking because like you're probably about to lose your virginity or something like that. But the thing is, honestly, like I wanted it to be like such a special, like an amazing moment because like I'm that kind of bitch. It wasn't. It really wasn't. My boyfriend didn't even sleep over. He's an asshole. Ex-boyfriend. Ew, I would never date that loser now. Anyways, I would never do that. But V-card, I always was like, oh my God, it's going to be such like a special, amazing moment. It wasn't. And I was like, the fuck is this? But then I actually started enjoying sex when I like understood it more. And like my body more, understood my body more, then I liked sex. But yeah, do I find myself successful? Yes. Okay, last question. Stress management for financial stress. Financial stress is a fucking burden, and it's like something I've dealt with a lot actually. And now I feel like I'm at a really good place because I am like financially stable and I'm doing well for myself. But like there was a time I had absolutely no money in my bank account and I was like, like, you know, like what do you do? But I just, the more I worried about it, the more I was like laying up at night sick about it. And it's like, listen, I can always find a way to make money in the sense like I could go back to serving, I could do whatever. But I was unemployed for like a month in New York for a minute, which is a long time now that I think about it. And I was making like some money from online stuff, but like literally nothing at all. And I just remember the more I felt like I worried about it and the more I like chased it in a way is when I felt like just very burdened by it. So honestly, the best way to deal with financial stress is work. I always feel like weird saying advice on these things, but for me, what I needed to do was like, I knew I needed to work like a certain amount of hours a week. I know how much I need to make monthly for me to live the life that like, you just like the bare minimum, like rent, food, you know, to pay those two. And so I literally am no stranger to working 2 or 3 jobs. And that is how, and then just have like a financial game plan. My sister helps me with that a lot. I don't listen to her at all, but yeah. And just make like get like a budget planner from Amazon or anything. That'll really help. But don't beat yourself up over it because it's such a hard thing and it's so heavy, but like do not beat yourself up over it. Okay, let's end on a happy note. What do I smell like? I wear the same 4 perfumes and I wear them consistently. I have a YSL Libre that's actually a men's cologne that I love. And then I have Chanel Chance, one of the fucking ones. And I love that one as well. And then I have YSL. There's another men's cologne that I have from YSL. And it's honestly just Yves Saint Laurent. Because I have like my little thing up there. Yves Saint Laurent perfumes. But I'm a psychopath on the way I smell. So that's the light and fun note I want to end this on. You guys, this is the episode that should have never been released. That's what the fuck I'm titling this one because like I just feel like my energy is chaotic. I'm gonna be editing this shit on the plane like, girl, what are we doing? But love every single one of you. Love that we get to chit chat. I just get to come on here like this and just like kiki with you guys and have a good ass time. And I don't know if I'm sending a clip to my editor this week to get cut. Like, you guys know how I get the clips cut and put them on my Instagram and my TikTok. I think I'll scare myself if I see it. But I am gorgeous. Anyways, I love every single one of you. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at She Is Livy. Make sure to subscribe, bitches. Make sure to subscribe. I love you guys so much. Bye.